SilkCentral Test Manager, Importing Requirements and Manual Test. With this presentation, we're going to demonstrate how SilkCentral can easily import and manage requirements from within Microsoft Word documents, and also import manual test plans from Excel spreadsheets. We're going to start by importing requirements from Word. So for importing requirements from Word, we expect the requirements to be formatted according to styles. Reality is that we expect the customer to basically apply any style they want to the limited things like the name, description, or attributes from the requirements. So all the customer needs to do is to understand exactly what style represents what piece of their requirements. Once you got defined the styles you're using in formatting your document, you're ready to import those into SilkCentral. In order to import my requirements from Word, within SilkCentral, I'll select my Requirements tab and right-click on my project and say Import from Word. SilkCentral will give me a list of mapping files. Mapping files represent the mapping between the customer's styles within their documents and the requirements information within SilkCentral. You can have as many mappings you want to represent either different document structures or different styles. In this case, I have a mapping created here, and I'll click on Edit to show you what can be mapped. As you can see here, SilkCentral allows you to establish up to 9 levels of parent-child relationship within your requirements. You can determine that by the name of the requirement, and then what I'm doing here, my document only has 2 levels. The first level, the style will be rec name 1. Second level will be rec name 2. Then I'm using the style normal to represent my description. I don't have anything for priority or risk or revealed, but I do have a style that represents the unique identifier of the requirement in my document. That will be later used for managing changes in the document. So let's click on OK. Because I'm managing one existing file, SilkCentral is going to ask me if I want to replace the file that I already have. I'll click on Yes. Then I'll choose the file that contains my requirements. In this case, I have a document here. I'll click on Open, and I'll click OK. My requirements document is already imported. So I click on OK here. You will notice that SilkCentral will create a top-level requirement representing the document. You can open it, and then you can access your requirements here. SilkCentral will also keep the structure of your formatting from tables, links, and etc. You can also see here that parent-child relationship were established according to the styles that we created. With that, my importing is finished. Once a document has been imported to SilkCentral, we have the ability to synchronize the requirements within SilkCentral to the changes made to the document. Let's see how we can accomplish that. Let's go to the document and make a small change. Let's put some formatting. Let's save the document. Within SilkCentral, you can right-click on your document and say Update from Word. You're going to select the mapping that represents your document structure. Choose the new version of the file. and click on OK. Now if we go to 24/7, we can see that the changes are reflected within SilkCentral. By using the importing requirements from Word feature, customers will have the following benefits. They will increase the productivity by importing requirements from their existing Word documents using their own styles and formatting. They will also reduce the risk by allowing customers to keep managing their requirements with their existing tools, in this case, Microsoft Word. We just finished importing requirements from Word. Now we're going to move in to importing manual tests from Excel spreadsheets. Customers might be using Excel to create their manual tests. When they're doing that, they normally structure their test cases within columns and lines. So as you can see here, we have the test definition name, description, the plan time, and then I have a series of steps with their description and results within my spreadsheet. SilkCentral can import those test cases based on that structure, but it also allows you to not only have the standard fields, but also add columns represent attributes. In this case, we have a platform attribute that is a multi-value attribute with 3 values. And you can notice that I'm separating the values by a semicolon. I can also add to the spreadsheet my folder hierarchy where I want my test cases to reside. Once I have the Excel spreadsheet structured with all the standard information plus extra attributes plus the hierarchy, I'm ready to import my test cases within SilkCentral. For importing our Excel spreadsheet within our test plan, we're going to select the test plan, right-click on a container or a folder, and select Import from Excel. The Excel importer also allows you to create different mappings to represent different Excel structures you want to import. We're going to select one of my existing ones to take a closer look. The mapping contains several important informations. The first one is the header row. It allows you to determine on which line of your spreadsheet SilkCentral should look for the header information. It also tells you what row will represent the first data row. For multi-value characters or fields, in our case our platform, we can determine what character we're using to represent the breakdown of the values. The path attribute represents our folder hierarchy. In this case, we have a column called hierarchy. Then you can map standard information based on the column names. You also have the ability to set attributes. In this case, I only have 2, but I would have more. All I have to do is create the mapping between the Excel column and the attribute. You could also do that with parameters if you have any. We'll click on OK. It asks if we want to replace the file. Now all we have to do is choose the file we want to import. I'm going to go to Manual Test Definition Document. Click on Open. Click on OK. By default, SilkCentral will create a root folder with the file, with the name of the file you just imported. And then you will see the whole hierarchy that we created with the test definitions in it. Let's take a closer look on the information. So you can see the name, description, the steps we imported, but also the value for the attributes we just imported. That allows you to get any information you need for your test plan from within your Excel spreadsheet.